and that means a happier life. Janine Swanson, book editor. Section 1. Diet for Health. Eating Made Simple by Marion Nestle. As a nutrition professor, I am constantly asked why nutrition advice seems to change so much and why experts so often disagree. Whose information, people ask, can we trust? I'm tempted to say mine, of course, but I understand the problem. Yes, nutrition advice seems endlessly mired in scientific argument, the self-interest of food companies and compromises by government regulators. Nevertheless, basic dietary principles are not in dispute. Eat less, move more, eat fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and avoid too much junk food. Eat less means consume fewer calories, which translates into eating smaller portions and steering clear of frequent between-meal snacks. Move more refers to the need to balance calorie intake with physical activity. Eating fruits, vegetables, and whole grains provides nutrients unavailable from other foods. Avoiding junk food means to shun foods of minimal nutritional value, highly processed sweets and snacks laden with salt, sugars, and artificial additives. Soft drinks are the prototypical junk food. They contain sweeteners but few or no nutrients. If you follow these precepts, other aspects of the diet matter much less. Ironically, this advice has not changed in years. The noted cardiologist, Ancel Keys, who died in 2004 at the age of 100, and his wife Margaret, suggested similar principles for preventing coronary heart disease nearly 50 years ago. Old advice still holds true. In 1959, Ancel and Margaret Keys offered the following, familiar and still useful precepts regarding nutrition and activity. Do not get fat. If you are fat, reduce. Restrict saturated fats, fats in beef, pork, lamb, sausages, margarine, and solid shortenings, fats in dairy products. Prefer vegetable oils to solid fats, but keep total fats under 30% of your diet calories. Favor fresh vegetables, fruits, and non-fat milk products. Avoid heavy use of stale and refined sugar. Good diets do not depend on drugs and fancy preparations. Get plenty of exercise and outdoor recreation. But I can see why dietary advice seems like a moving target. Nutrition research is so difficult to conduct that it seldom produces unambiguous results. Ambiguity requires interpretation, and interpretation is influenced by the individual's point of view, which can become thoroughly entangled with the science. Nutrition science challenges. This scientific uncertainty is not overly surprising, given that humans eat so many different foods. For any individual, the health effects of diets are modulated by genetics, but also by education and income levels, job satisfaction, physical fitness, and the use of cigarettes or alcohol. To simplify this situation, researchers typically examine the effects of single dietary components one by one. Studies focusing on one nutrient in isolation have worked splendidly to explain symptoms caused by deficiencies of vitamins or minerals. But this approach is less useful for chronic conditions such as coronary heart disease and diabetes that are caused by the interaction of dietary, genetic, behavioral, and social factors. If nutrition science seems puzzling, it is because researchers typically examine single nutrients detached from food itself, foods separate from diets, and risk factors apart from other behaviors. This kind of research is reductive in that it attributes health effects to the consumption of one nutrient or food, when it is the overall dietary pattern that really counts most. For chronic diseases, single nutrients usually alter risk by amounts too small to measure except through large, costly population studies. As seen recently in the Women's Health Initiative, a clinical trial that examined the effects of low-fat diets on heart disease and cancer, participants were unable to stick with the restrictive dietary protocols. Because humans cannot be caged and fed measured formulas, the diets of experimental and control study groups tend to convert.